Hey guys, DIY Maniac, John P. If you watched my previous video that came out a couple of weeks ago, we diagnosed a noise coming from the cutting deck of my John Deere mower, and that was the spindle bearings. We went ahead and changed those spindle bearings, and as usual, you take care of one noise, it brings to light another noise that was probably there that you weren't hearing and was being overshadowed by the original noise. And in this case, I still have a noise, and it's coming from the idler pulley on the mowing deck. So in this video, we're going to remove the mowing deck again, and I'm going to detail the process of changing out that idler pulley. Follow along. For the removal of the mower deck from the tractor, every brand may be different, but you're going to have some main anchoring points. Your adjusters, these lift levers, and the front lever as well. The way these are removed, the cotter pin is slid out, the washer removed, and then these anchoring points can be released and the deck allowed to sit on the ground. It's always easiest to have the mowing deck at its lowest level when unhooking these. Be careful, it's heavy, don't hurt yourself. Once you removed all the anchoring points with the cotter pins, the drive belt could be slipped off. On this machine, it's very simple. You bring it over the guard. This is basically keeps the belt in place. You bring it over on each side. And the belt is now free of the main drive pulley of the motor. The last connection point that needs to be removed is the cable that engages the mowing blades. That is done once again with a cotter pin pulled out. Pull back on the cable and release it from this bracket. The other end of the cable is inserted into a lever on the, you can see the spring, and it hooks onto that lever with the pulley. You basically just lift up on it as such and pull it out to release it and let it sit on the mowing deck, and you can pull it out. Now we're getting a top-down view of the cutting deck. You're going to see there are two idler pulleys, a large one and a small one. The large one is a fixed idler pulley. The smaller one is on the engagement arm, basically the arm that gets tensioned, that then puts tension on the belt, which engages the blades to turn. So you're going to want to diagnose which of the two is making the noise. Possibly both. In order to diagnose, you could spin the pulley and listen for any grinding or abnormal noises. Make sure your belt is out of the way and not touching the pulley. And when you spin it, we're getting quite the rough sound. And we can now check this one. And it's spinning. The little bit of noise you're hearing is the belt touching it slightly. No noise at all. Whereas this one is really rough. So what we'll do now is we'll remove this pulley physically from the deck and we'll double check it. On this particular cutting deck for the small pulley, it is held in place with a 15mm nut that you could zip off with your impact. Once the nut has been removed, the pulley could be lifted off. As such, the belt put out of the way, and now your pulley is free and you could really perform a manual bench test on it and spin it, and there's definitely a grinding in that pulley and a lot of resistance. So this is our failed pulley. So we're going to go ahead now and look at the new one that I ordered and how to reinstall. The pulley I ordered was off of Amazon. Once again, the smaller pulley, which has a 3 5/8 inch outside diameter. Here is the OEM part numbers, the John Deere part numbers, that it replaces right here. So that's for the smaller pulley. This was ordered on Amazon.ca, Amazon Canada, for $18 Canadian shipped. So not an expensive part. To reinstall, you will basically make sure, because once the pulley's in place, you can't get the belt in. So the belt has to go in place first beside the stop that's right here, and then direct your pulley in, which sandwiches the belt in place. It's basically a stop or guide to stop the belt from coming off the pulley. Once your pulley is on, We can now double check the new pulley. The belt does cause a little resistance, and we can see it spins much freer and easier. Next, we will reinstall the nut, our 15 millimeter. We will put it on in place, and we will zip it on with our impact, as such. And the pulley is installed. Well, there you have it. Just a quick, easy video on how to replace the idler pulley on your cutting deck of your John Deere riding mower. Definitely applicable to the majority of riding mowers out there. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll see you at the next video.